Something that we usually have to do with most cars is update the access port firmware. There can be many different reasons for why it needs an update, but it's something that we remind all of our tuning customers to do on a regular basis, our tuning and e-tuning customers. So while we're waiting for this access port firmware update, we're just going to be getting a base map together for a 2018 STI with flex fuel. So going to need to make some adjustments to the mapping for the flex fuel. That is a Cobb custom feature, so it requires us to change some inputs. It requires us to change a lot of blending tables for different fuels. So, this is a car that's going to be able to be ran on 93, on E85, or anything in between. And it's going to adjust on its own for all that.
How you doing, Alex?
Good. What's going on, man?
Nothing, man. So what are we doing today on this car?
So this is a 2018 STI. It has pretty much what we call full bolt-ons. Some might call it a stage 3. But this car was in here recently. We did all those mods on 93 octane. It made a little over 300 wheel horsepower.
That's not bad.
350 pound-feet of torque. And essentially what we're doing right now is we're going to switch it over to a flex fuel setup, or we already have. We've installed the flex fuel kit, and now we're just retuning for that.
Okay.
So now that this car is running on flex fuel, we're going to be able to pick up about 40 wheel horsepower, and it's going to run safer. It's going to be more resistant to spark knot, which can cause problems on these engines. And yeah, that's pretty much what we're doing.
I have a quick question for you.
What was that?
How does flex fuel work? Because a lot of people think they have to empty their whole tank out to put, let's say, E85 in there.
Right, exactly. So the flex fuel kits that we offer for these cars through Cobb means it uses a flex fuel sensor. That's what flex fuel really means, is it's using a sensor to monitor the ethanol content. And then it's adjusting the tune on its own based on what it sees. So for example, right now this car probably has like a gallon of 93 left in it.
Okay.
And what we're gonna do is we're gonna put 5-10 gallons of E85 in it, and then we're gonna be able to actually watch that ethanol number change from 10%, which is what most pump gas is, up to 70, 80. So It's gonna do it live, it's gonna do it all on its own, and the tune will adjust accordingly.
That's cool.
Now, myself as the tuner, I have the ability to adjust, how aggressive it is at lower ethanol content. So we're usually not giving the person more power until 60-70%.
Okay.
So maybe we can do a little demonstration. I can grab the camera in a second, and when we put ethanol in it, we can watch that content go up, just so people can see how it does it on its own.
Yeah, let's do that.
You know what I mean? We're pretty low on fuel right now, but I think we have enough to run. We've got 93 in it. I'm gonna fire it up, and if you look at the ethanol concentration raw, which is our raw number, and our final is a filtered number after it burns off a certain amount. It's pretty much to make sure that it doesn't start adding more power until it's 100% sure that we have ethanol in the fuel lines. But the raw number will show you that live instant change. So the car is really low on fuel right now. That's why it's stalled. It's barely idling. And he's gonna start pouring in that ethanol right now, and watch this number go up. Boom. And as it mixes in, that number is gonna start going up more and more. Now remember, when this happens with your car, when you're changing at the pump, you don't have to touch anything with your tuner. You don't have to get out your access port. It doesn't even have to be plugged in. The access port can be in your glove box, in your backpack, in your pocket. It doesn't matter. our flex fuel tune is going to adjust for the ethanol content. And as this number goes up, your power goes up, your torque goes up. And in my opinion, most importantly, the safety of the engine goes up. The cooling effects from ethanol and the higher octane of it combine and offer really all we can ask for out of a fuel, especially one that's so cheap. I mean, we're talking, $2.30 a gallon, and it offers similar performance of C16, which is, $100 for 5 gallons of it. So now that we've got this content up, we'll do a dyno pull, and we'll show you guys the difference in power from 93 to, this is probably going to settle at about E70. STI. We just got done with our E68% pull, and let's take a look at the gains that we've got. So on 93 the car made 304, on E68 it made 347, so about 43 wheel horsepower, significant torque gains, about 60 wheel torque, we can round that up to 60. This torque region here, that's really adjustable in the tune very easily. As you can tell, that's happening at low RPM, so once you're shifting gears, you're not really hitting that very often. That's more for if you're gonna floor it from 2000 RPM, maybe a little bit of bragging rights. It's only about 67% ethanol, so it's really impressive considering that we've just got the winter blend fuel in here. I hear people say from time to time, oh, winter E85 sucks, I can't use it, it's gonna make my car run terrible. There's nothing wrong with winter blend E85. As you can see here, it works perfectly fine for making power. We regularly tune these cars on winter blend E70. We've been doing it for 7 years without a hitch. So just keep that in mind. If you guys have any questions about your STI or any of the cars that we work on, please put them in the comments. Shoot us an email, heck, even a phone call if you want to. We are happy to answer your questions and hopefully work with you. So have a good one.